This video about to watch was delivered at the Next Level Virtual Leadership Summit. Daniel Barras is a hedge fund manager, he's a real estate investor, and he talks about the mindset of right now in this current market on how to be able to reap the benefits of the current crisis. Because let's get real, there's gonna be tons of opportunities right now, especially with the new president coming along, with the 2021 coronavirus coming along, and right now is the best time for you to develop that mindset and start investing and double down in your future to create wealth. So watch this video, and it's time for you to go to the next level.
All right, mic check. Here we go. First off, I want to thank all of you for being here, everyone that's on the Zoom, all of you that stuck around, you're really showing up. You know, it takes a lot to just be here and just say, you know what, hey, I'm ready. I want to give this a go. Whatever the hell it is, I'm drawn to it, and I'm going to listen, right? And just tap it into that. And so, you know, Raul was right. I started doing this, right? Doing this in my life, and what happened was I was doing great in relationships, and then my business would slow down. Then I would do great in business, and then it was my body, right? And all these 7 habits of a king really integrate this on a consistent basis. So that 1%, you might think, well, 1% is not enough. I want a little more than 1%, right? But it's that compound effect and staying integrated, you know, and really living to your potential. So some of you so far that's been in the group, you're asking like, what is this king stuff? What is this? What is edge, right? What is king, right? And really, to be a king, the idea of the king is your full potential, right? And that's very important. All of us have that full potential inside us, all right? And at the end of the day, that's what we're living for. And that person shows up most of the time when we push, when we integrate, when we have clarity, when we find purpose, when we know exactly what's going to make us happy or find that fulfillment, right? And so 3 things I'm going to talk about today, real quick. We don't have much time, so 3 things, just kind of economic outlook, a little bit what's happening, specifically related to like assets, right? I'm an asset manager, fund manager, real estate acquisitions. That's my background. Next thing we're going to talk about is ROI. A little different than what you'd expect. The third thing is going to be how to make decisions very differently in business and in 21. All right, so first off, economic outlook. I mean, shit hit the fan, guys. I mean, COVID it's crazy out there. A lot of companies are adapting. Some of them are winning, some of them are not. People are, you know, adapting and adjusting. They're building strength from it, and some of us, you know, got weak. Some weak in our body, weak in our business, weak in our relationships, and it's really having a toll. When I look at some of the assets that's out there, I have a lot of clients that I consult with, and some of the brothers here, you know, they have their business and they're trying to understand, okay, what's going to happen in the economy? How do I plan? How do I, you know, how do I level up for this? How do I get ready for this, right? And in terms of you know, real estate related assets, first off, Bart said it, number one. Your number one asset is your health, all right? Let's get that straight. Second, you know, we're looking at all the different assets that are doing well. So a lot of you that are in business, one of the things that we're not doing with our customers or looking at our customers or how things are affecting in industries is, well, what kind of assets do our customers have? And what kind of businesses do they have? How does that eventually going to affect our business? And, you know, when I look at like the commercial and office and all that stuff, guys, we're expecting 60%, right? So, I mean, this is like, it's crazy out there. There's going to be a big change, big shift. So if you're in a position, refinance, get your shit ready. I mean, it's coming, right? This is just the beginning. We start looking at all the top asset classes that are performing right now. You know, really, you're looking at like data centers, stuff that's really not affected by COVID, right? Data centers, cell phone towers, industrial, and believe it or not, single-family rentals are one of the top. And that's really where we're focused on in our fund, right? And the reason why I mentioned that is it's very important for you to get, who here owns a commercial building or has clients that own commercial buildings? Okay, a lot of you. So expect the market to drop about 60%, period. Office, commercial, retail, I mean, it's happening. There's no way around it. How does it affect you? You probably think, well, I own my own business, I own my own, building, doesn't affect me, or hey, and if those of you are, you're in management, maybe you own your manager owns, or maybe your owner owns the building, or your clients own the building. I would say just get ready for this. Most of the debt that's upside down is in that space that I meant, the commercial, office, retail, right? So how will that affect your customer's business? How will that affect you? Are you in a position where, hey, if the market does drop 60% on that asset, that you could easily rent it out in cash flow? Okay, good, great, keep it. If not, maybe sell it with a lease back, right? Get ready, or sell it, cash out, and lease something, right? So a lot of businesses are coming to me right now saying, hey, what do I do? This is my portfolio. What's coming, right? And there's this big misconception of things are going to get better. It's all going to, it's going to eventually go away after elections. And, I hope that's true. I really do. But I do see a lot of that coming, a lot of foreclosures. Prior to COVID, we were looking at all the different asset classes that had debt, right? And how, guys, this affects your business no matter what, or your customer's business. So it's important to know this. The past economic crash was single family because we were upside down. Everybody could get a loan, right, at that time. Now single family, because loan restrictions are so tight, you're in a good position. So a lot of people that own single family or say duplexes and stuff, they're cash poor, but they're equity rich in their home. So refinance your home, take advantage of the interest rates. But in terms of looking at some of the buildings and some of the stuff that's out there that really you can expect, right? A lot of these office buildings, eventually they'll get converted to apartments. I had this conversation with one of the brothers. You'll start seeing, these retail businesses turn into storage, and all these things that will happen. So if that's going to affect your assets, a lot of you that have assets, it's important to start making moves as if, right, that's coming, all right? Also, economic outlook, really when you look at not so much just the facts and the demographics, really start paying attention to the behaviors. It really comes down to the behaviors. Our behavior right now, like first off, the data that you had that you were maybe making decisions on for business, it's old and it's not relevant anymore, right? So you might say, okay, well, this fact is this, and so therefore I should get that. Well, at the end of the day, it's the behaviors we want to focus on, not just the demographics. And when I'm in some of these meetings where these top funds and these builders and developers, the conversation's changed. It's what's their behavior? What's going to happen? What do they need? What's the 5-10-year plan? So, in these conversations, it's so crucial, right, for them to project out and to get ready. And that's changing rapidly. So they've really had to adapt. So if your marketing or if your projections don't have the behavior structure set in there, definitely pay attention to that. Let's talk about ROI. So this is not the same ROI. Really return on impact. And this kind of goes into the value add stuff. Like if you're in a business, whether it's your family, we're talking business here, but this applies to everything. Your body, your business, your family, your belief system. Really, it's return on impact, right? Every effort that you do, all of your message, and I've kind of really, I'm going to be changing my message in marketing related to this. So before it was, hey, we protect and build capital for investors. We do this by investing in real estate portfolios, right? That's the factual stuff, right? But really, at the end of the day, the value that we bring is we help save them time. Right? So ROI is built in really three things: return on energy, return on time, and return on dollars. So you got to start looking at that in every asset, like all of these B's, really, you've got to look at that return on impact for you and for those around you. Measure it. This is something you've got to start measuring. Beyond just the numbers, we've got to start measuring this return on impact. So in terms of the value add message that you're talking to your customers, really you want to reframe it of, hey, what's in it for them, right? How much time are they going to save? How much certainty are they going to have? We talk about certainty. Really, that return on energy is so important right now. People are making quick decisions. They're they just want to know, hey, what's in it for me? What's the return on energy? And that's really giving them that certainty. So that message needs to come across in everything you do with your family, your friends, your business, all of it. And return on time is a pretty obvious one, right? So if you can save your customers or your people time, or you feel like, hey, they are winning, right? Reminding them sometimes if they are winning of time, or that they're saving time, right? We look at time like it's a never-ending, we never have enough, right? I don't know about you guys, but it's I don't have time. I used to always say that. I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time. No, you don't make time. You need to start changing your vocabulary with time. I didn't make time. If you're going to talk about time to somebody, or if you're going to make an excuse about time, like own it. Say, I have not made time for that, right? So in this brotherhood, that's one of the things we've done is really changed our vocabulary, which internally changes a lot about yourself and how you handle things and take responsibility and stay accountable and really level up faster, right? So that's one of the things, changing that vocabulary. Return on energy, right? Giving your customers or yourself certainty is the most important thing you can do in 2021, right? Sharing with them the impact that you're going to have on them is so crucial. And the return on dollars, right? That's pretty simple, right? You can give that analysis. Let's talk about how to make better decisions. When I first started in this program, I started to learn about energy. This ritual came up, like, there's a part of the ritual that I kind of avoided a little bit, and it was like really kind of bringing up a lot of stuff, and we're going to experience that here later. And this idea of energy was a little new to me. I was like, what is this energy stuff? And like Joe's like talking about all sorts of this, this metaphysical world and all these things about energy and all this. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I got energy. I can, I get stamina. That's my energy. No, it's much deeper than that. And my point in saying that is learning how to make decisions from your intuition, right? By really tapping into that energy inside, understanding your energy better, and being able to make decisions intuitively. I'll tell you a story. We had this project. It was a huge development, and we were buying it. Investor group was taking it down, and we had to do a lot of work for it. Went in, was going to continue the development. Went into the county and getting things approved and so forth. I had this thought that came up, and just said, call this person on the corner, like by the gas station on the corner. I'm like, oh, why do I want to do this? So I talked to the investor, and I said, hey man, something's telling me to buy this with it. It's connected, right? Maybe we could do something with it. He's like, oh no, it doesn't apply. It doesn't matter. It's not related. It's a waste of time. And so I said, well, I'm just going to pick up the phone. I'm going to call. I call them. Believe it or not, they say, you know what? I was just having a conversation with my wife about selling this. It's time, right? So fast forward, we came to a good price on it. It was a pretty quick decision for them. The investor said, no, we're not going to do it. So ends up going down the road. We're in the process of getting things approved for this development with the county, right? Next thing you know, he says, we're not going to buy that corner. It doesn't matter. We don't need it. It's a waste of money. So the corner ends up getting sold, right? So fast forward, we're at our last meeting to get this project approved with the county, and they said, well, you know what? This, and this is required, and it was a street light and a few other things. And guess what? We needed that damn corner. And so the point is this, there are things that come up in your life that intuitively, when they come to you, they don't make sense sometimes. And I've really learned how to master listening to these decisions. And I know for all of you and a lot of the brothers that are here, but a lot of them that are in the Zoom, some of you have experienced this. You pick up the phone or somebody calls you and says, "Hey, I was just thinking about you," right? And that really tapping into that energy, that universal field, right? We have that ability. We have that intuition. And Warren Buffett and some of the top business people in the world, you think it's just about the facts that they're making decision on? No. It's this intuitive feeling, this intuitive decision to make decisions and just listen. And when it's tough to really fine tune this voice, right? That comes in. It's so important for us to sharpen this. For me, it's mastery every single day to really listen to that. So if there's one thing I can give you as somebody that's in business or somebody that's, really trying to make decisions for themselves, whether it's related to your family or your business or whatever it is, absolutely sharpen that skill. So here's a couple things. And by the way, there's people that I know that have really been able to dig deep in this and really unfold. And not only does it help sharpen your skill on your intuitive ability, but it really changes your perception on life and just kind of frees up a lot of stuff, right? So a couple things, tips that you can do to really sharpen that skill. Number one, reset the body, reset the mind. I mean, Bart talks a lot about this, but at the end of the day, we got to reset the body. Our body will make us feel anxious, will make us feel angry, it'll make us feel all these things, right? We got to figure out what's going on with that, where that comes from. We have triggers, right? Take responsibility for your triggers. Your triggers are just a sign that you need to pay attention to something that's deep inside. And guess what? So you're getting pissed off about somebody. It's not on them. It's on you. That's just the way it is. Your triggers are your own shit, and you got to face it. So being able to tackle that, right? Another thing to sharpen that skill is to do meditation, do these ritual that we're about to try. Really tune into that energy. And the more and more I learn about energy, the more I can attract things, the more I can fine-tune things, the more I can sense things, right? And in people and places, making better decisions for my investors, for my team, for my family, right? And at the end of the day, it's a must, right, to sharpen that skill. There's people that have, maybe a little bit challenges, or maybe they, grew up and they had this pain and they had stuff growing up, or maybe they went through a tough time and all this anxiousness and all this stuff that's in the body, right, ends up blocking us, right, our third eye and things within our body that really block us from being able to tap into this, right? And I think it's so important. I know for Bart, he taught a lot about how to fix the body, how to repair the body, how to clean the body, all right? And by cleaning this, so there's the aspect of kind of the external stuff that you bring in, and then there's the internal stuff, the meditations and the healing. And so the other one is forgiving yourself, right? I mean, that was a big one for me. I had a lot of pain. I had to forgive myself. And just by you being here, showing up, being vulnerable, that's the first step, saying, hey, I need help. I gotta, I want this. I want better, and just showing up, being yourself, being vulnerable, but doing the work to really forgive yourself, go back in time. I've done multiple events, multiple forgiveness, and man, a lot of stuff, a lot of these shadows really come up, and you just gotta pay attention to them, do the work, go back, heal. So when you're able to do that, right, it removes some of this blockage that you have, and to fine tune those intuitive decisions. And I'm sure some of you have experienced that, and some of you have experienced it and you just don't recognize it, right? But a lot of your brothers here that are doing the ritual, right? I mean, who has sharpened their intuitive skills since we're doing the ritual, right? I think every one of us. So if there's one skill that you get out of doing that one pays for itself 100x over and over and over and over. So I know we're running out of time here. But I just, those are some skills, and, I want to say, pertaining to that, right? I know for myself, I've done a lot of work in sharpening this skill. I've seen a lot of brothers, some of the stories that have gone through pain that have really been able to show up and be their ultimate king, step into that ultimate version of themselves. And, actually even my brother is here as well in the Zoom call. And he had a tough time growing up. He had some anxiety, had some stuff that he was dealing with, and a lot of that intuitiveness was tough. And so him and I were battling all the time. Like we were kind of at, and now he went to martial arts, doing yoga, he's doing all these things to reset the body, reset the mind, and then here I went through this brotherhood and doing all these things, and now we've come together and we've really forgiven some stuff that we've done to each other. Losing my we've done, and now we're working together. So he's my technology partner. And so you never know what's going to happen from all this. And, so just really, really sharpen that edge on your intuitive thinking for business. For 2021, it's a must. You want to give yourself an edge for anything. Like a lot of you that are here right now, you're like, what is this? How do I get the edge? How do I get to the next level? That is the number one thing for me that's really gotten me to that next level. So I want to thank all you brothers. And I know we're running out of time here. We're going to keep this real short. So thanks for showing up. And you guys just keep pushing and asking the questions. And I'm always here for you, whether it's real estate related, asset related, or whatever it is. And all the brothers here, just thank you again for being you and living up to your own highest potential self as a king. So thank you.
Beautiful. You're my hat.
Nothing beats proximity. And it's hard to put into words how powerful it can be.
We're having tough times, and I've got somebody to go to.
Being a part of a community of guys that get me.
I was able to uncover something very deep.
Great to be able to talk to people who have the same kind of like-mindedness and understanding.
And we lift each other up, we hold each other accountable.
They were able to raise me back up.
The power that we receive from the community that surrounds us, it allows for us to push through that fear.
Not living out of fear anymore, living out of expansion.
This community offers me so much.
Focused on helping each other, which is something you don't see a lot.
Energy from new guys coming in.
The energy that you get out of it, I think is fantastic.
You have to be here and experience this.
Don't be distracted from the events in the world. Those things are going to happen. They're going to come and go. Just like a storm that comes and goes, we can decide how to react.
Where the rest of the world feeling so uncertain and lost, it's our responsibility, it's our gift to be able to give that certainty.